Welcome back to Digi Bros.
Welcome back.
Victor's still trying to figure out the C stick.
I'm getting the C buttons.
You're really determined, aren't you?
You're
gonna want to pull it out. And then
well, you know, I'm always looking for new challenges in this game. Anything to make it fresh.
Too?
Shit. I got this. Look, guys, don't be cheap. Don't use emulators. Just find the game.
What the fuck are we gonna run it on? To
I know.
this?
I'm just saying for our audience. I hate fucking emulators.
I mean, is this game sold on the Wii U marketplace?
Maybe, possibly.
Because if it is, we totally could have used that. But
man, I didn't think this was an impulse. This was a random.
Everything is
play.
an impulse. It's not that impulsive. I brought it up
guy.
like 6 hours ago and then downloaded it and shit.
Yeah, I mean that was your call. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, I just opened that. Lame.
You wanted to cross the platforms.
I know. That was gonna unlock another chest that was hidden.
No. It didn't do that.
Whew. I got the map for the compass. The compass! This used to be... I used to fucking hate the compass when I was a kid. Because...
I still hate the compass.
You see the chest, and you're like, oh, fuck yeah! I'm gonna get a new weapon, and then it's a fucking compass. And you're like, oh, this is just...
Dude, you're getting
God,
your ass fucking handed to you. Jumping slice.
There's my shield, okay.
Oh, you couldn't figure out the shield button.
I couldn't get the fucking shield.
Well, now we've got a dinging noise.
We got
Congratulations.
a dingy nut.
My least favorite part of every Zelda game.
Nah, man, I'm all about the blinking noise.
Oh, really?
That's like the best part of the game.
Turn around, you fat
Wow!
set. Dude, I've been playing fucking Twilight Princess, and the Skulltulas are terrifying in that game.
Oh yes, they're pretty cool looking.
Cause they're like that big, if not bigger. But they're like gross and realistic and shit. And every time I fight it, I'm like, oh, get it away!
Oh,
get it
God.
away!
Oh no!
Incidentally, there's no way we'd ever play Twilight Princess on this show because you see how we're 21 minutes in and we're already like really deep into the first dungeon. Yeah.
Twilight Princess is slower.
It's
meant to be an epic.
I guess. I mean, I still haven't gotten very far in it to like really, you know.
You will feel like a lot of time. You'll feel
just
like you just watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy by the time, even longer than that.
Well, yeah, a lot longer than that.
But it's that same feeling of like, wow, I just experienced something so grand and epic.
I will have it'll be the length of watching it 5 fucking times.
Even cooler than the Lord of the Rings. Oh, that's
Except
nice
by the time I'm 3 hours into the Lord of the Rings, I've already finished the first Lord of the Rings movie.
That's true.
I'm not just entering the
more
first dungeon.
epic than the Lord of the Rings. Bro, are you gonna? Okay. Yeah. Now we do the jump.
Oh
shit!
Boing. Boing. Dude, I am certain that blew my fucking mind as a kid.
Most likely. Everything fucking blew my mind as a kid.
Just the idea of like, whoa, it's like physics. Like I jumped through it and it broke. Like that's crazy.
That is true. I got the hearts. Okay. This is a room. Let me assess my surroundings. Okay. Yeah. Playing Zelda.
Yeah, man.
Riding on cars.
Riding on cars.
Hey, that's the torch. Wait, I want the box.
I almost like regret that you're actually playing this so fast. Like even though it doesn't seem that fast, just because it's like I feel like everything is clever and brilliant and the best thing ever, and we're just mowing past it.
That's what I love about these games. Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Wow. Yes.
Everything is cool in Ocarina
It's like
of Time.
Zelda puzzles are never hard, but I just love them. I love the feeling of completing them.
Zelda's not about difficulty,
yes.
and it never really has been. It's about agency and like control, and
just feeling clever. You're like, oh, I see what they did there. That's cool.
I'll say this: Ocarina of Time
2, 3, 1.
23 is number 1.
Yeah. You are a traitor, you little bastard. Wow.
Ocarina of Time is probably my favorite Zelda game, right?
Yeah.
Followed by the Wind Waker, and the Minish Cap, and then Zelda 1. And what I love about Zelda 1 is the sheer level of freedom that it gives you, right? Where you can basically do whatever the fuck you want in that game. It never tells you where to go. Or, like, it gives you hints as to what to do, but you can really do the dungeons in whatever the fuck order you want. The last time I tried to play Zelda 1 was, we were trying to do a, it was before we came up with the idea for the Digi Bros play. I was trying to do a Let's Play with my friends Jesse Wood and Give and Take over Skype, which turned out to be a nightmare. All the shit we tried to do, like, kept fucking up. Like, the first 10 minutes I forgot to turn on the video capture, and then like after the next 5 to 10 minutes we started having all these like problems with the video and shit. So overall it was a failed attempt, but I couldn't figure out what to do because the idea was I was trying to play it without a guide. And I've only beaten the game once while heavily using a guide, so I didn't really remember most of what to do. And I couldn't find my way to the first fucking dungeon, so I'm just like running around doing random shit. And I end up getting the blue candle and opening the door to the 8th dungeon.
Oh god.
And I go inside. And like, I go inside and I go one room to the left, and immediately it's one of the like early bosses as like a little like random enemy, and it's just like this fucking thing. It's like a round part in the middle with 4 heads on it, like four like chompy heads, like the chompy plant things, like this round thing with 4 heads, like spinning around and fucking shooting missiles and all this other shit's happening, and I just run and I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking madness, and I'm freaking out, and I just randomly drop a bomb and it blows all 4 heads off the thing and it dies, and I was like, what the fuck? It was the greatest thing I had ever seen, and I was like, this is why this game is fucking magical. I booted up Zelda 1, ran into the 8th dungeon, and fucking destroyed some terrifying, crazy monster.
Yes.
And then left. I was like, that's awesome. Now, on the one hand, like, Ocarina of Time is a lot more railroaded. You know, like, you pretty much... Do you have to do every dungeon in a certain order? Are there any that you can, like...
Yeah, you have to go all in order.
Even as an adult?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Huh. You can't do the dark and spirit ones in...
No.
Oh. Well...
At least I'm pretty damn sure you can't. Because you need the magic lens to get through the desert.
Right.
And you have to get that in the dark dungeon.
I do know that this game's a lot more railroaded. It doesn't really allow for as much experimentation in the order you do the dungeons in, but at the same time, like, just being in 3D gives you a lot of options, you know, like there's a lot of options for how you deal with each enemy, of how you navigate each room, you know. And
it feels really cool.
Yeah, and it feels good. And to me, Zelda is all about feeling, you know. It's never been really, because even the first Zelda, it's kind of hard, but not in like a, how do I put it? I was able to beat it.
That's true.
And it's a NES game. Like, I made it to death in Castlevania 1, and I could not beat death. I tend to play games up until the point when I hit that one big wall, and then I'm just like fucking done. And with Castlevania, I was save scumming. With Zelda 1, like, when you die, there's not like a huge penalty. It just kind of sends you back to the overworld.
Yeah. And,
you know, you can just keep trying again and again, and you still keep all your rupees and items and shit like that. So, I don't know, it's fairly easy to keep coming back to the same challenges. The only game that's like really hard in the Zelda franchise is Zelda 2, but that game is nothing like the other games. Yeah. Zelda 2 is more like a Dark Souls type game, or Demon Souls even. But like,
it's about fighting monsters.
The first game, it is challenging, but it's not really about being challenging. It's about how cool it feels to do the things you do. How the little sword whips are like at the perfect speed. They have that perfect sense of catharsis. They make a great sound effect when you hit stuff. It's like whoosh, 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 you know. Feels good. And this game feels really good. And even the puzzles feel good because of the way that they're structured. Where it's not that they're difficult. It's that like looking around at something and then finding it is satisfying. It's that feeling of going like, oh shit, it's over there. Or like, you know, like just now, you saw the torch and you're like, I've got a torch, I've got a stick, and I've got a spider web.
And it's cool to see how much they can do with a torch, a stick, and a spider web. Where it's like, they come up with all the most creative uses to use a single weapon. And then, like, you move on to more weapons.
And that's what fucking pissed me off so much about the first dungeon of fucking goddamn, what's it called, Twilight Princess, because it was so fucking patronizing that it just always told you exactly what to do. You never, like, there's, like, you have that moment where it shows you, like, you infer, you go, oh, that thing goes in that thing, and then it'll do that.
I don't think it does it the whole game.
I'm sure not the whole game. I'm sure it's worse at the beginning, but like this whole dungeon, it never told you anything.
Yeah, it did. Oh my god, fucking Navi's been not shutting up the whole time. Are you paying attention?
Have you been?
It told me, oh, you can press A to move the block, and I was like, oh, well, no shit.
Well, that's a mechanical thing. You wouldn't. There's nothing to infer that. You don't know that unless you walk up to the block and wait for it to say press A.
Yeah, but it's not hard to figure out. Like you see the block, you see that there's a track in front of it.
It's not the same as her telling you, hey, grab that stick and light it on fire and roll across the pit.
She probably said that too. We haven't been paying attention, but I mean,
I doubt
she's been talking a lot.
I mean, all these games give you a helper who you can consult for hints, but like, Twilight. Okay, for instance, like you kill the mini boss.
This part is cool because it's like you hear a noise, and you have to figure out how to look up, and that is inferring.
See? In Twilight Princess, there's a part where you fight the mini-boss, and it's using the Gale Boomerang. And you beat him, and the Gale Boomerang falls out of his hands. And then the camera slowly pans over to the Gale Boomerang on the floor like, hey, buddy, did you see that he dropped this? I'm like, yes, thank you. I saw him fucking drop it, you know? It just constantly does stuff like that. And like I said, I'm sure it's not that bad through the whole game. But, like, the first... It's so long. The beginning part is so long, and it constantly tells you exactly what to do. You know, like you fucking you overhear a conversation where someone says, "Oh, I left the sword back in my house on the bed," and then Midna's like, "Hey, that guy left the sword in the house on the bed. I think we should go get the sword." And I'm like, "Yes, thank you. I got that. I know."
I think it's been a problem with every 3D Zelda game.
I just think it's less of a problem in this one. There's no question that we are 30 minutes into recording and you've already beaten the first dungeon. And I was 3 hours and 50 minutes into Twilight Princess by the time I'd beaten the first dungeon.
I mean, this is also me knowing exactly what to do, though.
I knew what to do! I'd played it all before! There was just... and I'd skipped all the cutscenes. I was just like, oh, God,
I remember last time I played, I was surprised at how fast I got through that beginning part because, like, I knew exactly where I was going.
Maybe so. There was a lot of little stuff that frustrated me. Like when you follow the fucking monkey through the miasma that's holding the torch, like she takes your torch and then runs ahead of you, and it's like, I could have carried the torch myself, made it through the miasma, but you have to follow this monkey, and then, like, there was one point where I had, like, broken a piece of grass, and there was, like, a little heart, and it was, like, right on the edge of the miasma. So I was like, oh, I'll just run out and grab, or it was a rupee, and I was like, I'll run out and grab it, maybe I'll get hurt a little, like, lose, like, a little dink of health. No, I run out to grab it, and it just warps me back to the beginning. And I have to follow the monkey again, and I was like, oh, I would have taken getting hurt. I didn't want to have to follow this fucking monkey again. Just lots of little things.
I just hope you have more fun soon so you don't just nitpick the whole fucking game and I'm just gonna be like, well, I love that game.
It's like, I don't know, nothing about the game has grabbed me yet. That's the issue, where, like, I don't like the controls as much as Ocarina of Time. I don't like the look of the game as much because it's like it just looks so dirty, you know?
Yes.
Like they tried to pack it with so much detail, but like it's not an HD game, and that level of detail just looks wrong. You know, like.
Well, I think it looks cool sometimes, like the.
I'm sure that's like. I'm sure
look.
that some of the stuff will look better if it's like designed more like. I'm in a forest.
Yes.
And like it looks like Phantasy Star Online, you know, where like they just went too ham with the textures and it all kind of looks gross and muddy, you know. Whereas stuff that was clean, like the Wind Waker, looks gorgeous, you know, even on the GameCube version because it was so clean and everything was just bright and colorful and crisp. And then they made the HD version and it's like the best looking game ever.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. You should play Majora's Mask on the 3DS when I'm done with that. That has the potential to be, like, it's great. I don't know where it's gonna end up on my list of favorite Zelda games, but it's gonna be pretty up there. I feel like the only thing that's gonna keep it from being the best is that it's gonna be shorter, and I like the epicness.
Not if you do all the extra shit though.
Yeah, but the main plot line has to be long for me. There has to be more than 4 dungeons, which there's 4 dungeons, and I'm like, I beat 2 dungeons, and I'm like, man, when I get to the end of that 4th dungeon, I'm gonna be like, oh man, I wish there was more.
Bitter, it's not about the size of the gun in the high new sun.
Oh god.
Because on a cold night, when the mood's right, it's half as long but twice as fun. I'm talking about the human body, people! I'm sure I fucked that up. That's a
Jesse Wood.
It's a good old drowning in footwear classic joke that he probably doesn't even remember making.
Oh god.
It's fucking ancient. Have I mentioned that I am the world's premier expert on the career of Jesse Wood?
Wait, look, the Oscars are flying into the sky to create the world.
They do look like the Oscars. Do you want to talk about how bullshit the Oscars are?
I don't, kinda. I guess we could talk about that, because, I mean, we've talked about it on our own, but not on this.
Go read the 2 articles by Cartoon Brew called Definitive Proof that the Academy Awards don't know anything about animation, and one that's just called Proof that the Academy Awards don't know anything about animation, or are ignorant about animation. It's 2 different articles. Both of them are from quotes from people who vote on the Academy films, and they just blatantly have no regard whatsoever for animation.
Yep.
To the extent that they openly insult the entire medium in ways that,
fucking
as an animation fan, are fucking disgusting.
It's like, to them, they're voting on best kids movie of the year. That's all they're thinking of.
They always either abstain, admit that they haven't seen all the films, talk about how they're all kids movies, talk about which one their kids liked the best. Very rarely has someone say that they saw all of them.
Yes. Or given any fucking profound thoughts on them at all.
Right. The one where the guy said, he said that the biggest snub was that the Lego Movie wasn't nominated, and I agree. The Lego Movie should have won Best Animated Feature, should have been nominated for Best Picture, because it was a phenomenal film that everyone loved. Yeah. But this guy was talking about how the Lego Movie got snubbed, but then he says that he can't believe that it wasn't there when there's 2, this is the exact quote, 2 fucking Chinese things in the running. He's referring to The Tale of Princess Kaguya and the whatever that fucking Irish movie was called.
Yes.
A Japanese film and an Irish film. 2 fucking Chinese things.
Just the level of fucking ignorance is disgusting.
Jesus Christ. I can't get over it. It's like, how can you even, you know? Aren't you people supposed to give a fuck about film? Isn't that the whole, like...
The whole point.
The premise of your fucking show is that you give any fuck about film. And I'm that mad as an animation fan. I can't imagine how animators must feel reading that shit.
Such bullshit.
You know, because it's posted on Cartoon Brew. That website is like...
Oh, Jesus.
It's like about animation. Like they often have like interviews and shit from like, you know, people who work on shows and stuff like that. So yeah, I imagine they are filled with a righteous anger at that shit.
Passionate hatred.
Jesus, Big Hero 6? Really?
I mean, Big Hero 6 is a pretty good movie. Everyone who's seen it fucking loves it. So,
but the Lego movie!
But the Lego movie should have been in there.
The Lego movie wasn't even nominated! One of the best films of 2014.
I have my own fucking problems.
Universal critical acclaim.
My problems with Big Hero 6 is that if you took out the adorable robot guy, nobody would give a fuck about that movie. Which making the robot so adorable was a great idea, because it's a great character, awesome robot, but like, it's not a great movie besides that character. That's why it kind of bothers me. Especially all the side characters in that movie are shit. They're all fucking two-dimensional, like, stereotype personalities that are really just kind of boring and, like, obnoxious.
The Tale of Princess Kaguya was a good movie. Do you think it was a better movie than Big Hero 6?
I don't know.
From what you saw.
I didn't see all of A Tale of Princess Kaguya.
Yeah, you did miss the beginning was kind of the best part.
From what I've seen, it seemed like a more, like, emotionally impactful film. Like, parts of what I watched, I was, like, tearing up at it just because it seemed powerful.
I guess.
And it was artistic. It seemed like it was telling a great story.
It's very, like, straightforward, where there's not, like, a lot of, depth to it. It sort of just is what it is. It's, like, this very straightforward, this is the mythological tale of Princess Kaguya, you know? Which is sort of that guy's style. I think it's Isao Takahata or something like that. Because he's also the guy who did Grave of the Fireflies, which is also, like, very straightforward.
Yeah.
Like, it is exactly what it is. I've never been a big fan of Grave of the Fireflies, because, like, it's like, sad, but it's also, like, so obvious.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you are going to watch children die now, you know, which I guess is effective. It's like, yeah, that's what actually happens in World War II. A bunch of children die, but it's sort of, like as a movie, it's relying on you and the way that you feel about the idea of children dying in World War II more than it is like actually applying that as a movie. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not like making me care about fleshed out characters who I'm sad to see die. I'm sad to see them die because they're children and it's World War II, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's the fact of the matter that's sad, not really the film itself or the, you know, the context of the movie. It's the context of reality.
Are you ready to talk to a fucking owl?
I am next time on Digi Bros.
All right.